Can you imagine a snake longer than a school bus, or one that weighs more than a car? These aren't creatures of myths and legend, but real-life giants that have slithered across our planet. Medusa, the reticulated python.
Look at this. It's got something in here about the size of a monkey or a duck or something. This is a big snake, man.
Reticulated pythons are the longest snakes in the world, often growing to over 20 feet long. But today, we're talking about a real superstar among these giants, Medusa. Medusa isn't your average reticulated python. She holds the Guinness World Record for the longest snake in captivity, stretching an incredible 25 feet and 2 inches long and weighing 350 pounds. You can visit her at the Edge of Hell Haunted House in Kansas City, Missouri. To keep this big girl healthy, she eats rabbits, deer, and even hogs. Reticulated pythons originally come from Southeast Asia. They're famous for being super long and having beautiful patterns on their skin that look like a net. That's actually how they got their name. They might not be the heaviest snakes. Anacondas win that title, but they're definitely the longest. These amazing snakes usually live in rainforests, woodlands, and grasslands in Southeast Asia, but they're tough and can even survive in city sewers. Even though she's huge, Medusa is actually pretty docile. That's normal for reticulated pythons raised in zoos or places like that. But don't be fooled, she's still a powerful hunter that squeezes her prey tight. It takes a whole team of 15 people to handle her safely. Compared to the southern green anaconda, the world's heaviest snake, Medusa is way longer. Anacondas can weigh over 500 pounds, but they're usually shorter, around 16 to 20 feet long on average. Medusa's record-breaking size makes her truly special, even among other giant snakes. Ana Julia, the northern green anaconda. Clocking in at a staggering 26 feet long and weighing a hefty 440 pounds, Ana Julia is a sight to behold. With a head the size of a human's, she's a living testament to the power and majesty of the Amazon rainforest. Discovered deep in the jungle by wildlife expert Professor Freek Vonk and his team, Ana Julia isn't just any giant snake. She represents a whole new species, the northern green Anaconda eunectes achyema. Now you might be thinking, aren't all green anacondas the same? Well, not quite. These impressive creatures usually call the tropical rivers and swamps of South America home. But Ana Julia was found in a remote, unexplored corner of the Amazon, proving just how much we still have to learn about this amazing place. It was the local Waorani people, who know the rainforest like the back of their hand, who helped find her and gave her the name Ana Julia. Although she looks a lot like the southern green anaconda, Professor Vonk discovered something amazing. There's a huge genetic difference between the two species, a whopping 5.5%. To put that in perspective, that's an even bigger difference than the one between us and chimpanzees. This just shows how many incredible creatures are still waiting to be discovered in the Amazon. Fluffy, the reticulated python. Next up is Fluffy, a reticulated python who was a total rock star at the Columbus Zoo in Ohio. They even had to build her a special, extra-large enclosure so she could comfortably stretch out her massive 24-foot-long body. Fluffy was born in captivity and came to the zoo in 2007, quickly becoming a favorite among visitors and zookeepers alike, thanks to her surprisingly gentle nature, despite her intimidating size. Feeding time was a major event. At the zoo, everyone loved watching Fluffy chow down. She even held the Guinness World Record for the longest snake in captivity for a time. Fluffy lived a good, long life for a reticulated python, reaching 18 years old, which is pretty impressive since they usually only live 15-20 years in captivity. The Cuban Boa. The Cuban Boa, or Chilobothris angulifer to scientists, is the largest snake you'll find on the island of Cuba. These impressive constrictors can normally reach lengths of up to 13 feet, boasting thick bodies and striking patterns in shades of brown, gray, and black. The largest Cuban boa ever recorded measured 18.5 feet long and weighed 66 pounds. Cuban boas are arboreal, which means they spend a lot of their time in trees. They're often found coiled around branches, patiently waiting for unsuspecting prey to pass by. But they're not just tree huggers, they're also adept ground hunters, actively searching for lizards and rodents to satisfy their appetites. But what really makes Cuban boas special is their unique hunting strategy. They're the only snakes in the world known to hunt in packs. Scientists have seen them work together to catch bats flying out of caves, forming a living curtain at the cave entrance. It's pretty amazing to see these usually solitary creatures team up like that. The Cuban boa is a key player in the Cuban ecosystem, helping to keep populations of rodents and other small animals in balance. It's a reminder that nature is full of surprises, and that even snakes can have some pretty cool tricks up their sleeves. The scrub python.
I've got him! I've got him! Man, he's big.
Down under, the scrub python, also known as the amethystine python, reigns as Australia's largest snake. Reaching lengths of up to 28 feet, these non-venomous constrictors are named for their beautiful iridescent scales, which shimmer with an amethyst-like sheen in the sunlight. These adaptable predators are found in a variety of habitats across northern and eastern Australia, from rainforests and woodlands to rocky outcrops and even suburban areas. Like other pythons, they are ambush predators, waiting patiently for an unsuspecting meal to come within striking distance. While encounters with humans are relatively rare, scrub pythons are capable of inflicting serious bites if they feel threatened. The largest confirmed common green anaconda. Meet the undisputed heavyweight champion of the snake world. The green anaconda, scientifically known as Eunectes murinus. While reticulated pythons might be the longest snakes on Earth, the green anaconda claims the title of the heaviest, with females reaching up to 550 pounds. They're also incredibly long, averaging between 17 and 20 feet. In fact, the largest confirmed green anaconda ever found was a mind-blowing 29 feet long. So even though reticulated pythons are generally the longest, anacondas can definitely give them a run for their money in the size department. These massive snakes live in the tropical rainforests and swamps of South America, spending most of their time in or near the water. They're ambush predators, meaning they lie in wait and surprise their prey, which includes fish, birds, capybaras, and even caimans. The Central African rock python.
What do you think, guys?
Deep in the heart of Africa, a true giant lurks, the Central African rock python. These powerful snakes can grow up to an impressive 20 feet long and weigh over 200 pounds, making them one of the largest snake species on the continent. This impressive snake is a master of adaptation, thriving in a variety of habitats across sub-Saharan Africa, from dry savannas to lush rainforests. Their muscular bodies are built for strength, allowing them to overpower and constrict even large prey. These ambush predators prefer to stay hidden, waiting patiently for their next meal to wander by. And their menu is diverse, including everything from small antelopes to hefty crocodiles. Once they've captured their prey, they coil around it, squeezing tighter and tighter until it can no longer breathe. Central African rock pythons generally avoid humans. However, if they feel threatened or cornered, they can become aggressive and defend themselves with their powerful bodies. The Burmese Python. Burmese python, or Python bivitatus if you want to get scientific, is a seriously impressive snake from Southeast Asia. But it's also become a bit of a problem in the Florida Everglades, where it's taken up residence as an invasive species. These snakes are known for their striking patterns and massive size. They usually grow to be about 12 to 16 feet long, but they can get way bigger. The largest one ever recorded was named Baby, and she was 18 feet and 10 inches long and weighed a mind-blowing 403 pounds. Interestingly, these giants actually start their lives up in trees, using their strong bodies to climb around and explore their surroundings. But as they grow larger and heavier, they tend to spend more time on the ground, relying on ambush tactics to catch their prey. And they'll eat just about anything they can catch, from birds and rodents to even deer. The problem is, Burmese pythons in the Everglades don't have many natural enemies, so their numbers are growing fast. This is causing trouble for the native wildlife, who aren't used to having such a big predator around. Even though they're not venomous, Burmese pythons are incredibly strong and can easily overpower their prey. They're also really good at adapting to new environments, which makes them a tricky, invasive species to manage. Samantha, another reticulated python.
Snakes aren't just good at crawling along the ground.
In 2002, Samantha held the prestigious Guinness World Record for the longest snake in captivity, officially measuring an impressive 26 feet long. While some reports claim she even reached a jaw-dropping 29 feet, those measurements remain unverified. However, there's no doubt that Samantha was a true giant, weighing in at a hefty 275 pounds, with a head the size of a large dog's. Samantha's journey to stardom began in the wilds of Borneo, where she was captured as an adult and eventually found her way to the Bronx Zoo in New York City in 1993. For nearly a decade, she captivated visitors with her immense size and surprisingly gentle nature. Her presence served as a powerful reminder of the awe-inspiring diversity and scale of the animal kingdom. Sadly, Samantha's reign as the longest snake in captivity came to an end in April 2009 when she passed away. The yellow anaconda. The yellow anaconda, or Eunectes notaeus, is a powerful constrictor found in the southern parts of South America. While not as massive as their green cousins, these snakes are still impressive predators, reaching lengths of up to 15 feet and weighing in at around 100 pounds. Their yellowish or greenish-yellow coloration provides excellent camouflage in their watery habitats. Yellow anacondas call the wetlands, swamps, and slow-moving rivers of Bolivia, Paraguay, and Argentina home. They are semi-aquatic and true water lovers, meaning they spend most of their time swimming, hunting, and even mating in the water. Their eyes and nostrils are positioned on top of their heads, allowing them to stay submerged while keeping an eye out for prey or potential threats. They're also excellent swimmers, thanks to their streamlined bodies and powerful tails. Unlike many other snakes, yellow anacondas give birth to live young, typically between 20 and 40 babies at a time. These tiny anacondas are ready to take on the world from the moment they're born, equipped with the instincts and skills to hunt and survive on their own. The Indian python. The Indian python, a giant snake native to the Indian subcontinent, can grow up to 15 feet long, although there have been unverified reports of them reaching up to 21 feet. They have a lighter color compared to their Burmese cousins, with patterns that help them blend into the rocky landscapes they inhabit. They're incredibly adaptable and can live in a variety of habitats, from grasslands and forests to swamps and rocky hills. As long as there's a good source of water nearby, they're happy. They're excellent swimmers and often enjoy being in the sun near streams or ponds. Indian pythons are primarily nocturnal, meaning they're most active at night. They use the cover of darkness to hunt for their prey. Like other pythons, they're ambush predators, relying on their camouflage and patience to surprise their prey. Yet another reticulated python, Colossus. Reticulated pythons seem to always be in the running for the biggest snake title, and Colossus is another example of why. While his exact length remains a bit of a mystery, the stories and records surrounding him paint a picture of a truly massive serpent. Colossus was reportedly captured in the wild and brought to the New York Zoological Park, now the Bronx Zoo, sometime in the early 1900s. There, he quickly became a star attraction, drawing crowds who were fascinated by his size. The Papuan Python. The Papuan Python, found on the island of New Guinea and nearby areas, is a lesser-known giant that deserves its place in the spotlight. These snakes can grow up to 28 feet long, making them one of the longest snakes in the world. They might not be as heavy as some other pythons, but their slender bodies are surprisingly strong, allowing them to take down large prey like wallabies and even pigs. Their scales are a beautiful mix of olive green and brown, which helps them blend in perfectly with the dense rainforests and swamps they call home. They even have a cool trick up their sleeve. They can change color slightly, getting darker when they're agitated or stressed. Another fascinating fact about Papuan pythons is that they're amazing climbers, often venturing into trees in search of prey or a comfortable resting spot. The king cobra. These majestic serpents can grow up to an incredible 18.5 feet long, with the largest one ever recorded measuring a staggering 18 feet and 9 inches. Back in 1937, a king cobra almost as big was discovered in Malaysia. It was captured and lived in the London Zoo until World War II started. Unfortunately, it had to be put down to protect people in case it escaped during a bombing. King cobras live in forests all across Southeast Asia, from India all the way to the Philippines. And get this, they mainly eat other snakes. That's right, they're the ultimate snake-eating snake. Weighing up to 20 pounds, they are surprisingly agile and quick despite their large size. King cobras are known for their distinctive hoods, which they spread wide when they feel threatened. And when they stand tall, they can literally look an adult human in the eye. Their venom is incredibly potent, and they can deliver a massive dose in a single bite. This venom is neurotoxic, which means it attacks the nervous system, causing paralysis and eventually passing. While they're undoubtedly dangerous, king cobras are also shy and prefer to avoid humans if possible. The black mamba. The black mamba, a snake with a reputation that sends chills down your spine. This sleek and speedy serpent holds the title of the longest venomous snake in Africa, reaching lengths of up to 14 feet. That's longer than a car. In fact, the largest black mamba ever recorded was found in Zimbabwe, measuring at 14 feet and 5 inches long. They're also incredibly fast, slithering at speeds up to 12 miles per hour, making them one of the fastest snakers in the world. Black mambas are found in sub-Saharan Africa, living in all sorts of places like grasslands, forests, and rocky hills. They're mostly active during the day, hunting for small animals, birds, and other reptiles. Their venom is a deadly cocktail. It has neurotoxins, which attack the nervous system, and cardiotoxins, which mess with your heart. This powerful combination quickly takes down their prey. While they usually try to avoid trouble, they can get really aggressive if they feel threatened. They strike super fast and can bite multiple times. The Eastern Diamondback Rattlesnake. This impressive snake isn't just the biggest rattlesnake out there. It's also one of the heaviest, venomous snakes in all of North and South America. The Eastern Diamondback can grow up to a whopping 8 feet long, although most adults are usually between 3 and 6 feet. Imagine running into one of these guys in the wild. Eastern Diamondbacks are easy to spot thanks to the diamond-shaped patterns on their backs. They live in the southeastern United States, hanging out in all sorts of places like pine forests and marshes near the coast. These snakes are ambush predators, meaning they lie in wait for their prey to come close. They use their camouflage and special heat-sensing pits to find their next meal, which could be a small mammal, a bird, or even another reptile. And of course, they have that famous rattle on their tail to warn you to stay away. Even though Eastern Diamondbacks are venomous, and you definitely want to be careful around them, they usually try to avoid people. But it's important to know they're out there and to give them plenty of space if you see one. The Gaboon Viper. While the Gaboon Viper might not be the longest or fastest, it's definitely one of the thickest venomous snakes out there, with a body that's argued to be as wide as a man's torso. These vipers are masters of disguise, blending in perfectly with the forest floors of sub-Saharan Africa, thanks to their beautiful patterns and colors. Like most other snakes, they're ambush predators, and when they strike, watch out. Gaboon vipers have the longest fangs of any venomous snake, reaching up to a whopping 2 inches in length. Combined with their large venom glands, they're able to inject a huge amount of venom when they bite. This venom is a potent mix of toxins that attack the blood and tissues, causing serious pain, swelling, and even tissue damage. Even though they look scary, Gaboon vipers are generally slow-moving and don't want to fight unless they have to. The Bushmaster. The Bushmaster, with its scientific name Lachesis muta, is the longest venomous snake in the Western Hemisphere. It can grow up to an impressive 10 feet long, making it a sight that's sure to send shivers down your spine. Bushmasters are pit vipers with special heat-sensing pits near their noses that help them track down warm-blooded prey, even in the dark. They're patient hunters, lying in wait for until their prey comes close enough to strike. When they do, they deliver a potent dose of venom that can be deadly if not treated. These snakes usually keep to themselves and avoid people, but if they feel threatened, they can be extremely dangerous due to their size and potent venom. While the Bushmaster is a formidable predator in its own right, its size is nothing compared to the ancient giants that once ruled Earth. The Titanoboa cerrejonensis. The Titanoboa, a prehistoric monster that once ruled the ancient jungles of South America, was discovered in 2009 in what is now Colombia. This colossal snake is believed to be the largest ever to slither across the earth. Imagine a snake over 40 feet long and weighing more than a ton. The Titanoboa truly earned its name, which means Titanic Boa. This behemoth lived around 60 to 58 million years ago, during a time when the Earth was much warmer than it is today. It was the top predator of its time, dominating the ecosystem and feasting on a variety of large animals, including fish, turtles, and even crocodiles. Scientists figured out how big Titanoboa was by looking at its fossilized backbones. These bones were huge, over 4 inches wide. By comparing them to the bones of modern snakes, they figured out this snake was incredibly massive. While researchers have also found pieces of a Titanoboa skull, they're still working on fully analyzing and describing them. The Vasuki indicus. Meet Vasuki indicus, a prehistoric serpent that could potentially rival the Titanoboa in size. Discovered in 2005 in the western Indian state of Gujarat, Vasuki is only known from a few fossilized backbones found in the Panandro lignite mine. These 27 vertebrae, some of which were found articulated or connected as they would have been in life, measure between 3.75 and 6.3 centimeters in length and 6.24 and 11.14 centimeters in width. Based on these bones, scientists estimate that this ancient snake might have been between 36 and 50 feet long. This ancient serpent lived around 47 million years ago, during the Middle Eocene epoch. At this time, India was largely isolated from Asia. The Vasuki fossils were deposited in a back-swamp marsh environment, which suggests a terrestrial or possibly semi-aquatic lifestyle for the snake. What other colossal creatures might be out there, waiting to rewrite the record books?